Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Is it visible? The slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So last day I have discussed about some of the instructions, like data transfer or data copy instructions, some of arithmetic instructions. So I have already told you that add and subtraction for addition and subtraction purpose, which instruction is to be used and how it will works or it will be operated. Another arithmetic instruction is addition with carry. This one, ADCR, means add the register content to accumulator with carry. So if any carry is generated in the previous operation, that carry should be added to the accumulator as well as to the specified register. For example, if it is written as ADCE, so E, that is the general purpose register, which will be added to the accumulator by default. As all of you know that for any arithmetic and logical operation, accumulator content will be added to the specified register. Okay, like add B. So that is common. Uh, Addition will be performed with the accumulator content and the specified register. As well as the extra thing for this ADC is to add carry also. Okay, so carry either so carry will be always 1. Okay, so that carry will be added to the um, accumulator as well as with the specified register content. That is the function of ADC, add with carry. Next important instruction is the INR and DCR. INR means increment the register content by 1, increment the register content by 1, and DCR, decrement the register content by 1. So for example, it can be written in this way: INR B. INR B means increment the content of B register by 1. Suppose B register it holds 1 data byte 32. Okay, so if INR B is executed, that will be executed by the microprocessor. So the new content of the B will be 33. It will be incremented, the content of B register will be incremented by 1. Okay, in the same way, this CR, that is to be used with decrement operation. So if it is written as DCR E, and assume E register holds some data byte like 11. So if DCR E is used, then the new content of E will be 10. The content will be decremented by 1. So you can write it as for increment and decrement purpose, any register content which you would like to increment and decrement the content. Okay, you can write it as INR A also, INR C also, INR D, INR E, INR H, INR L, all the possible combinations of 7 programmable registers. Okay, so all these arithmetic operations are performed using any one of the register among these 7 programmable registers. Hmm. Now, for increment and decrement operation, it is say I have told you that INR B or DCR, INR and DCR, these two instructions are used for increment and decrement the content of any 8-bit register only. Content of any 8-bit register only. So that means the content should be 8-bit in size, not more than 8-bit. But what happened if any content which is 16-bit in size, how can you increment that content or how can you decrement that content? For this purpose, there are two instructions which will be used to increment the 16-bit content using INX or decrement the 16-bit content by DCX. Okay, so INX RP means increment the register pair by content of that register pair by 1, and DCX means decrement the content of register pair by 1. Like it can be written as INX B. Now, if it is written as INX B, that means BC register pair is involved. So if BC register pair holds some data byte like 5678, okay, so after executing INX B, it will be 5679. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so DCX instruction that is to be used with the any register pair. We have 3 register pairs, BC, DE, and HL. So you can use any one of them if you'd like to decrement or increment it. Now for decrement operation, it is written as DCXD. So the meaning of this one is the content of DE register pair will be decremented by 1. Assume D register pair holds some data byte as 5601. 5601. So after decrementing it, it will be 5600. Clear? So 16-bit data can be operated, can be incremented or decremented using INX and DCX respectively. Okay, and INR DCR that can be used for 8-bit operation purpose. Okay, all these are increment and decrement operation, but the difference is one is used for 8-bit purpose operation, another is used for 16-bit purpose operation. So if in any instruction X is there, that means that is the extended version, and if it is extended version, which means there must be some register pair, there must be some 16-bit content is involved. Okay, so X represents always more than 8-bit, extended. Okay. So all these are arithmetic instructions. Now move on to the next slide for logical instructions. So all of you know that logical operations are performed using AND, OR, XOR, and using the NOT. So for logical operations, you must remember that one of the data must be stored in the accumulator and the other given or addressed in the instruction. Okay, and logical operations that can be performed with immediate data or data stored in a register, or indirectly it is addressed memory location content. Okay, so first one is ANAR. R represents any register among 7 programmable registers, either A, B, C, D, E, H, L. Any register can be used with this ANA instruction. The meaning of this one, AN means logical and operation between the content of accumulator. This A represents accumulator and the specified register. Like it is written as if it is written as ANAC. So the meaning of this instruction will be AND operation. AN means AND operation between the content of A and the content of C. If it is written as ANAB, then AND operation between A and B register. If it is written as ANAD, then AND operation between accumulator or A register and the D register. And after performing the AND operation, the result will be automatically stored inside A register or in accumulator. So accumulator means A register. So every arithmetic and logical operation result will be stored inside the accumulator or A register. Now for OR operation, it is said that ORA, any register, suppose ORA B is there, ORA B or ORA E, means OR operation between the content of accumulator and the content of E register, and the result will be stored in the accumulator. XRA, XRA means XOR operation. XOR operation will be performed between the accumulator content and the specified register. Here it is used as D. So the XOR operation will be performed between accumulator and the content of D register, and the result will be stored inside the accumulator. Okay, so these are registered to register operation. Now if you'd like to perform a specific data which will be ANDed with the accumulator content, or which will be XORed, or which will be ORed, then you have to perform these three kinds of instruction: ANI, XRI, ORI. Like we have earlier we have said that use the ADI instruction or SUI instruction. ADI, that is used to add a particular data byte with the accumulator. In the same way, if you want to perform the AND operation with the specific content, like in this case it is given as 0F, so accumulator content will be ANDed with 0F content, and the result will be stored inside the accumulator. Or XOR operation between the content of accumulator and the specific data 01. Accumulator and 01 will be XORed, and the result will be stored inside accumulator. Or the content between the accumulator content and the specific data 80. Okay, then the result will be stored inside the accumulator. So these three kinds of instruction will be used in case of to perform a particular data byte operation. And these three operations, ANA, C, XRA, ORA, all these are related to register operation. You don't know what is the byte is to be ORed or AND or XOR. Okay, whatever be the data which is stored inside the register, that will be operated. But here you know that this particular data byte will be operated. Okay, that is the difference between these three and this three. Another is the rotate instructions. Rotate instructions are available: RLC, RRC, RAL, RAR. All the rotate instructions, these are actually applicable with the accumulator content only. Okay, suppose any byte or any result, any data is stored inside the accumulator or in register A, and you need to rotate the content one bit wise, either right wise position or left wise position. Then you have to use these four kinds of rotate instruction according to your requirement. Okay, only this rotate instructions only performs only with the accumulator content. You can't rotate the content which is stored inside B register or C or D or E or H or L. Okay, these are not valid. This rotate instruction is applicable only with accumulator content. Okay, so if you want to rotate any content, you need to first store inside the accumulator, then perform the rotate instruction. And these are four kinds of rotate instruction: RLC, RRC, RAL, RAR. RLC means rotate accumulator left without carry. RRC means rotate accumulator right without carry, and RAL means rotate accumulator left through carry, and RAR means rotate accumulator right through carry. Okay, other instruction are like compare instruction. Compare instruction is available, and what you need to do perform using the compare instruction basically is very important. uh, this is used for basically comparing the magnitude of two binary numbers. Okay, and these instructions are used to compare the accumulator content with the operand specified into the instruction. Like I have used here as CMPB, compare the content between the accumulator and the content of B register. Okay, you can write it as CMPC also, and that means compare the content between the accumulator and with the C content of C register. You can write it as CMPD also, CMPE, CMPH, CMPL, all the possible combinations using the 7 programmable registers. Now another way, so this is register to register operation. In the same way, you need to you can perform the specific data comparison with the accumulator. So there is an instruction called CPI instruction. It uses the immediate addressing, and compare uses the register indirectly address memory location, so comparing with the accumulator. Okay, and the result of the compare instruction that will be indicated in the flag register. Assume what you need to do why you need to perform the compare to perform the comparison operation, compare operation. What is the outcome? Now to use this compare, you can identify whether any data byte is greater than or less than or equal or not. Okay, you have to check three conditions. Either the value of accumulator will be uh, greater than the other register content, either or accumulator will be less than other content, or accumulator is equal to the other register content. So these three conditions can be generated, and according to these three conditions, zero flag and carry flag will be changed, it will be affected. Now if A is, suppose I have used CMPB instruction, CMPB. Wait a minute. I need to write something. So here I have written that CMP B. The meaning of this one is either A, so always the compare instruction will be executed with the accumulator content and the specific register content. Here it is used as B. So either, so number one, it creates three conditions. Okay, number one, either A is greater than B. Second condition, either A or A is less than B. And third condition, A is equal to, it creates three conditions. Okay, according to the first condition, what again? If A is greater than B, that means there will be no carry. If A is greater than B, means accumulator content is the largest content compared to the B register. Suppose 5. Actually, what does it mean? Compare means it is a subtraction. It is one type of subtraction. Okay, suppose accumulator content is 5 and the content of B is 3. So if you subtract it, there will be no carry at all. Okay, so carry flag will be reset always. So if A is greater than B, there will be no carry at all. So my carry flag will be always 0, means reset. Okay, what about the zero flag condition? The result will not be 0 anytime. So zero flag also reset. Zero flag will be also reset. So zero flag will be also reset 0. Now according to the second condition, if A is less than B, just opposite to this one, if A is less than B, there will be always carry, means borrow. If 3 minus 5, you need to do this operation, so there will be always borrow. Okay, at that time there will be always carry. So carry or borrow, these are same. So carry, it is used, the term is used for addition, borrow is used for subtraction. But there will be no 0 result, so zero flag will be 0. And okay, is it visible?
Yes, sir, visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if A is equal to B, then carry flag will not be set. but the 0 flag will be set. Why? Because if A is equal to B, 5 minus 5, the result will be always 0. Assume accumulator content is 5 and the content of B register will be 5. Then 5 minus 5 will be always 0. So 0 flag will be at that time set, means 1. So based on these three conditions, these flags will be affected. Okay, carry flag and 0 flag. Now, what is the difference between subtraction and compare instruction? Comparison. Both are subtraction operation, but the main difference is subtraction gives a result, compare doesn't create any result, it creates three conditions. It creates three conditions. Okay, is it clear? Subtraction always gives a result and it will be stored inside the accumulator, but compare instruction always generates three conditions and it reflects onto the flag register using these two flags. Okay, carry and 0. It doesn't create any particular specific result. Is it clear? Do you have any queries? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. So this is very important instruction, compare instruction, and you need this compare instruction to find out the largest value among the data array. Suppose there are 10 numbers and you have to find out which one is the largest, or you have to find out which is the smallest one. At that time you need this compare instruction. Okay, and now I have already discussed the AND or XOR operation. So what about the NOT operation? NOT. So NOT basically is a complement operation. 0 will be 1, 1 will be 0. And that will be performed using this instruction CMA. CMA. Now after CMA there will be no other register name or the memory location or anything else. CMA, the meaning of this one, only the complement operation will be performed only with the accumulator content. So if you want to complement, if you want to perform NOT operation, you have to store the data input into the accumulator first. Then you can use the complement operation. Okay, because for NOT operation you need only one data byte, one input, so that if your input is 0, the output will be 1, and if your input is 1, output will be 0. So you need one data, so that data should be stored inside the accumulator, and that's why it cannot be used with other register. Huh. And you can't write it CMB or CMC or CMD. No, only CMA. CMA means the complement of the accumulator content. Clear? Moving to the next one. Now, branching instruction. Branching instruction basically, uh, these are important for programming microprocessor. More or less, in every program, these instructions, these branching instructions are used. Now, these instructions can transfer the control of the execution from one memory location to another memory location, from one memory location to another memory location. Okay, so branching means so we know that this is the branch of it, just like this one. Okay, so here also a microprocessor executes the program instruction one by one. Okay, sequentially microprocessor takes one by one instruction that will be and this will be executed. Microprocessor will not be operated in this way that first instruction will be executed, then it skip the some of the instructions. So randomly it is not used, it will be used sequentially. One by one instruction will be executed. But what happened if there is any condition to create or to make a decision whether the next instruction will be executed or not? Like suppose this is one road. Okay, there are two ways to reach this position, this main road. Okay, so this road is connected to this one. Now you are coming from this side, and at this level you have to decide whether you need to go through this way or this way to reach the same road. Okay, so here you need to create a condition, either I would like to follow this one or this one. Okay, so this is called branching. So in the same way, if microprocessor executes the instruction one by one sequentially, but at certain condition it needs to break the sequence of operation and skip some of the instruction. This is called branching. Okay, so this instruction will not be executed if this condition fulfills. And I think all of you have done the C programming, if else condition. Are you familiar with this term, if else condition?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is the same way it is performed. So either either microprocessor coming in this way or this way by skipping some of the instructions. So this, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I have some network problem. Okay, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so microprocessor sometime it is performed using conditionally or unconditionally. Means based on certain condition it can be created. That means if this condition fulfills, then jump to certain level. So program execution will be transferred from this position to this position according to the condition, or maybe there will be no condition, just program control is transferred from this position to this position. So either condition may be created or unconditionally it will be operating. So branching can be two types. It can be operated in two ways. Like execution control, number one, first is the execution control that cannot return to the point of branching. Okay, it will be executed in this way. Sequentially it is executed one by one, then at certain level it will be jump to this level and follow this one and end this program. So it is not mandatory to go back to the point of branching and the rest of the instruction will be executed. No, it will be not return to the, it cannot return to the point of branching where it is here. Point of branching is here. It will jump to certain other level by skipping some of the levels in between the point of branching and the uh, transfer of this control position. Another is the second method is the execution control can return to the point of branching, which is stored by the 8085 in somewhere in stack memory location, stack. Okay, so execution control, uh, uh, so there is another option. Suppose there are two program. One is your main program, certain instructions are written in this way. This is program number one, and this is second program. uh, instructions are written in this way. So when the main program, the first program, that is your main program, is started, and it will executed one by one instruction at certain level. At certain level, it needs to go from this level to this program, second program, or it is called the sub program or subroutine. Okay, then it is executed, the subroutine or subprogram will be executed one by one, and when it is completed, it again return to the main program and execute the rest of the instructions. Okay, so here execution is it is returned to the point of branching. So there are two ways: either it is not returned to the point of branching and it will be executed in this way, or it will again return to the point of branching where it is created, where it is resumed. Okay, so this type of operation, this the first operation which I have discussed, first example, it will be executed by this type of instruction, JMP, jump instruction, and this method is to be implemented by another instruction, that is call instruction, CALL, call instruction. Okay, both are branching instruction, instruction, but the way to operate it is not equal. Okay, so here the program control is not returned to the point of branching, here program control is returned to the point of branching. Both are branching instructions, and these instructions are very important for every program, So go back to the slide. Okay, so here it is given as JMP, 16-bit memory address. So you have to specify the address where this jump will be carried out. Okay, where this program will execution will be jump. Okay, you have to specify that address, because if I need to write my program, it has every address. Okay, each instruction is stored in some address. এটা হাওয়ার মধ্যে ঘুরে বেড়ায় না ইনস্ট্রাকশন গুলো, আমি যখন কোনো ইনস্ট্রাকশন দিচ্ছি সেই ইনস্ট্রাকশন গুলো মেমরি লোকেশনে গিয়ে স্টোর হচ্ছে। ওকে, এবং যখন when the microprocessor fetches these instructions, first is it identifies that this memory location is the active memory location, and from this memory location I need to fetch that particular instruction or code. So if any instruction is to be skipped by the microprocessor, so that means by skipping that instruction, that memory address, it needs the new memory address where it will jump. So always you have to specify the memory address where it is to be jumped. So for every branching instruction, you need the 16-bit memory address after this opcode. So here JMP is opcode, and this 16-bit memory address will be operand. It may be any memory address as per your requirement. Like it is given as for example JMP 9500. So microprocessor needs to jump to this memory location by skipping some of the instructions before this. Okay, this is unconditional jump instruction. Now what about the conditional jump instruction? So conditional jump instruction will be based on the flag status, like carry flag, like parity flag, like zero flag condition. So based on the flag condition, you can create a jump instruction. You can apply the jump instruction. So microprocessor executes the jump instruction based on the condition of the flag. Like for example, JC9500, it is written JC9500. That means jump on carry. So if carry flag is set, then only jump to this memory location. Otherwise, you don't need to jump. So it is based on the carry status. So if there is any carry in your operation, then only jump to this specific memory location. Otherwise, it doesn't need to jump. Another condition is JNC, means jump on no carry. So if there is no carry, then only jump to 500 memory location. In the same way, jump on positive is there, jump on minus is there, JP, JM, JZ means jump on 0. If 0 flag is set, then only jump. JNZ means if 0 flag is not set, then only jump. Parity equal or parity even parity or odd parity for purpose, it will be executed. JPO, JP in, all these are available. So all these are from this one to this one, all these are conditional jump instruction. Only unconditional jump instruction is JMP 9500. Okay. Another jump instruction I have told you earlier, that call instruction is available. Call instruction. So CALL, call 9500 means call the subroutine, call the execution of the another program which is situated at 9500 memory location. And after executing that subroutine or subprogram, microprocessor needs to come back to that main program where it was resumed. Okay, so this is, and in the same way, the conditional call instructions are available, like CC means call on carry. If carry flag is set, then call the subroutine or subprogram which is situated at this memory location. In the same way, call if no carry is available, call on positive, call on minus, call on 0, call on no 0, call on even parity, call on odd parity. So all these are conditional call instruction. Only unconditional call instruction is available as CALL, call 9500. Okay. Now, if call is to be used at the same time, after executing that subroutine or subprogram, the last instruction will be return. So if call is used, return must be used. Okay, but that is not in case of jump, because it cannot return to the point of branching. So that's why there will be no return address. Only return address will be available for call, because it needs to return to the point of branching always. Where it was resumed, it again comes back to that position, that main program from the subprogram. That's why if call instruction is used, return must be used. And in the same way, there will be conditional return and unconditional return instructions are available. Like RET, only RET means unconditional return. And RC, RNC, RP, RM, all these are based on the conditional return instruction. These are all conditional return instructions. Okay, so these are the branching instructions. Next is the machine control instructions, and machine control instructions are used to control the microprocessor execution and functioning it properly. Okay, it is not related to the any operand purpose or any data purpose. It is not executed on any data externally. So likewise, NOP, that means no operation. No operation. The meaning of this one is when it is executed, nothing is done, no changes occur in the contents of the registers. The program counter only incremented to fetch and execute the next instruction. So there will be no change in the registers. Nothing will be changed. There is no operation. Halt, HLT, halt the. It is used to halt the execution of the program. The operation, basically the operation of the microprocessor is suspended when halt instruction is executed. And the only way to exit from the halt state is to apply the hardware reset signal manually. Okay, it is applied. It is to be applied. Hardware signal must be applied. Next is the DI and EI, disable interrupts and enable interrupts. So interrupts are disabled and enabled using DI and EI signal respectively. So once the DI instruction has been executed, the processor ignores any interrupt request received. Now to enable interrupts again, the EI instruction has to be executed. Okay, and sim and rem and sim. So sim instruction, basically it is used to send the serial data on the serial output data line of the microprocessor, and the rem instruction that is used to receive the serial data on the serial input data line of the processor. So these two instructions will be discussed in details in interrupt chapter. Okay, so these are machine control instructions. So all these from last day to till now, I have discussed about the instruction classification based on the functionality. What type of functions are there? Data transfer or data copy function, arithmetic function, logical function, branching function, and machine control functions. All these are based on functionality. The classification is based on the functionality. Okay, so that's all for today. If you have any queries, any doubt, you can ask me now.